They say to understand a person, you have to walk a mile in their shoes. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. 1 year ago, I spent a week behind bars living as an inmate in Texas. I found a system which incarcerates more people than anywhere else on earth, straining at the seams.
I am looking forward to getting my ass out of here. And hopefully won't be seeing this place again, but who knows?
Now I'm in North Carolina, heading back to jail. Only this time, I'll be working as a guard. I knew going into jail as an inmate, I'd face issues that I couldn't even imagine. I know that this is going to turn up and throw up some real challenging things within me in terms of the way that I see the importance of the role and also who takes on that role with law enforcement. I'm looking forward to this as much as I'm nervous about it. What's it like working inside a system that's operating under unprecedented scrutiny and is finding it harder than ever to recruit staff? You throw into the mix corruption and you throw into the mix issues with race relations and racism. Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys really? And what side am I on going in? Guilford County Jail in Greensboro, North Carolina, houses up to 900 inmates. People have been picked up on charges ranging from misdemeanors to murder. Within these walls, they await trial, guarded by a staff of over 200 correctional officers. And for the next week, yours truly.
Corporal Jackson.
Hello. How you doing?
Reggie.
Corporal Jackson.
Nice to meet you.
Reggie.
How you doing?
Good, good.
Before my first shift, I'm meeting Corporal Jackson, the jail's recruitment officer, who interviews every new candidate.
All right, Mr. Yates, we're gonna go over some questions. The first question I wanna know, how do you feel about working all night from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
I'd like to think I'd be fine in that environment.
We have to deal with individuals as they come off the street. Oftentimes they're on drugs or they're intoxicated, some homeless people. You're gonna have to search these individuals, which requires you putting hands on people who have not bathed in quite some time.
If it's a part of the job, then it's something I guess I'll have to do.
Okay. Tell me your thought process if you're involved in an altercation, getting physical with an inmate.
It's something that I'd be willing to do, especially if other inmates were at risk or I was.
If you work in this line of business, it's going to happen at some point in time. It's not if, it's a matter of when. All right, Mr. Yates, I want you to take a look at this video of the incidents that we deal with every single day. If you're thinking about becoming a member of our team, we want to show you this video. Some of this may be unsettling, but this is what we deal with on an everyday basis.
We're just gonna step Fuck you, nigga. I want what you want to. I'll be your goddamn nigga. Hell yeah. Do your goddamn job, you monkey head motherfuckers.
Don't put your word on.
No, you relax, motherfucker. You relax, motherfucker. You relax.
Yeah, I'll hold my foot, but I'm not taking my shoes and socks off for you.
These are the type of individuals, he's intoxicated, coming in, do not want to comply, and so you have to, we may have to use some force to get him in.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Y'all gonna help me kill myself. Y'all gonna help me kill myself. I'll kill myself. Y'all gonna help me out.
Watching this video as a new recruit, I'm not exactly looking forward to my first shift.
This ends our interview for today.
Okay.
And here we go.
Correctional officers are paid £28,000 as a starting wage, well above the state average. Despite the generous package, Guilford County currently has a 20% staff shortage, 55 vacancies they simply cannot fill. The slack is picked up by the guards. Here, overtime is the norm. you know what? In all honesty, I don't think I am looking forward to this. I'm excited about the prospect of the challenge, but being back in a facility like this again and just being around those orange jumpsuits doesn't really fill me with excitement. It's gonna be a long week. Fuck. My first shift starts at 6 in the evening. I'll be working on bookings for the night, where all new inmates get processed.
I will walk you through it step by step.
Learning here is done on the job, and I'll be working under the guidance of Training Officer King, a Greensboro native with over 30 years experience working in corrections. And he has some early advice for me.
It's something that I call the 3 C's. 3 C's. Communication, confidence, and courtesy. Now courtesy is the most important thing. So when they see that you treat them as a person first, that's where you gain the respect.
Hello.
One of the guys on my platoon.
How you doing? I'm Reggie.
Nice to meet you, Reggie.
Nice to meet you. So it's my first night.
It's your first night?
I'm working, I'm working night shift tonight.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Is this his very first day?
Yeah, their first day.
So he's like gonna be under training with you?
FTL. Yeah.
No better officer. I'm telling you.
Do you remember your first night?
Do I remember it?
Yeah.
Scared, yeah. You know, didn't know what to expect.
I'm actually on booking tonight.
Booking.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll be seeing people as they come in.
That's a good experience because they're coming right off the streets and, you know, gotta be careful though. But, all right, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Good night, bro.
Nice meeting you too. Have a good one.
Take care.
Be safe.
Yes, sir.
The only thing you're really gonna need tonight, to be honest with you, will be your handcuffs and might need that pepper spray. They're not.
This is my pepper spray.
That's your pepper spray.
Okay, so what are the chances I'm going to need to use this tonight?
I always try to talk them down first, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
But it's good to have. That's the only thing I'm telling you. It's good to have.
That's the first
Oh,
time
yeah,
I
you
see
always gotta
myself.
check yourself now.
Well, this is the first time I'm seeing myself in this outfit. Don't know who this geezer is. Never thought I'd be a screw. Okay.
How may I help you?
Greensboro is a state-of-the-art modern jail. Every door and every lift is operated remotely from a central control room. 456 cameras monitor the entire jail.
Elevator 4.
Here, everywhere you go, someone is watching your back.
So this is it's booking, right? So this is where people come into first.
Right. This is where everybody comes in. This is where I say this is where the show begins. That's where they actually bring them in. You'll hear different codes tonight. A 10-10, that's a fight. If you're not in a housing unit and you're not locked down, you're required to respond. And why do I say that? Because you never know when you're gonna call and need somebody to come. Over here, this is our dress out room. This is where they get completely undressed. You have to be in here. It's very, important that you do that search so that he doesn't sneak anything up, into the housing unit. When I first started, guys would put razors in their mouth, put their tongue down. They get to the top, they got a razor blade. They take it and put it on a toothbrush or something that can be used as a deadly weapon. And I've seen that happen. So this is the dress out room here.
Okay.
We'll walk over here.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna show you back here in the back where the inmates that are being very disruptive.
I'm ready for the close-up.
You ready for the close-up?
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I can break this down for you any way you want.
Okay, I don't want
See,
you.
I came in here to do some research, and I learned a lot in this time.
Right.
Really?
What?
What are you? I don't see any stripes.
Oh no stripes.
King.
King.
But you're the king. MLK. MLK.
That's right, sir.
MLK. They forgot one letter.
What's that?
J.
What's the J?
He's junior. He's small compared to me.
Okay.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
I'm gonna come back and talk to you a little later, all right?
Okay, I am the number 3, TNT. I'm Dynamite, the number 3, baby, Dynamite.
I appreciate it, number 3.
All right.
All right. Okay, brother. Now, let's say I talked to him a certain way. You say he's nice to me now, so they say I'm not a threat to him.
So if, for instance, you didn't handle him well, what would the rest of your night look like with him then?
I'd probably beating on the door, yelling. As I always say, them 3 C's, though. So, you know, it does go a long way. Yeah, so, but we'll see him all night. We'll wait on you a little bit.
Bookings is one of the busiest and most volatile places in the jail.
How you doing, bud? What we got here?
19,000 people pass through here every year. And it isn't long before tonight's first arrest is brought in.
All right, you turn around, put your hands on the wall. You got anything in your pockets that you know about? Put your hands on the wall.
Having been told by a magistrate that they must be detained, arrestees are formally handed over to the jail staff.
All right, you turn around, take your shoes off, take your socks off, turn them inside out for me. All right, stick your tongue out, lift it up. All right, you can come on in, man. Sit right over here to the right.
They're fingerprinted, assessed for threat levels, and given their orange jumpsuits. They're then locked in a group holding cell until they're ready to be taken into the main jail. From midnight onwards, the jail gets noticeably busier.
So the time is now.
I'm reminded that I'm now working in a system that locks up 1 in 100 Americans and employs nearly 500,000 people.
Turn around, put your hands on the wall. You got anything in your pockets? Nope. You want to go down the center of his back, right? And then work your way around to the front of his chest. There you go. You want to go down both sides of his legs. All right, so you can go over here and you can use the telephone right there. And we'll let you know when to have a seat or whatever. Oh, you got one coming in?
It's about 10 of them over there.
It's about 10 of them over there? Okay, so we getting ready to rock and roll now? What's your last name, sir?
Lloyd.
Lloyd?
What'd you do?
I missed the court date.
For?
For paraphernalia and possession of medication without the bottle.
Okay, Lloyd, are you suicidal? Are you perceived to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, intersex, or gender non-confirming?
Inside here, race, sexuality, and gang affiliations are frequently the reason behind violent attacks.
Have you ever been incarcerated before?
No.
Separating people along these lines is just one way of keeping order. People deemed dangerous or at risk are sent to the segregation unit.
Okay, question is finished.
All right.
Squat call. Take all the drones, squat call.
Last year, I went through this process myself, so I know firsthand how dehumanizing this feels. What is strange is that watching it from this side feels equally uncomfortable. I can't help but feel bad for this guy, regardless of what he might have done to end up here.
Okay, so are we just waiting now for someone else to come through, process it? Okay. 2:30, nearly 3 a.m. Like, I really am tired now. And if somebody were to test me at this point, I don't know how I'd react. I'd be worried.
Really?
It's late in the shift, yeah. Maybe it's because it's my first time doing this
It's your
shift.
first day, that's all.
Yeah.
Got 1 minute ready.
10-4.
As the night wears on, the inmates become rowdier and less compliant.
All right, let's stop talking.
Jesus Christ, there's nothing on for it. How many times you gotta get searched in here before nothing's on? Jesus H. Christ. I can't call my mom, dude.
Not right now, my man.
Well, you're being a rather uncooperative.
Go ahead, hit that door there, Sarge. Go ahead. Let me get a hold cell number 7. Percy, I'm gonna need number 7. All right, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna put your hands on the wall. All right, do not move till we leave.
Can I call my mom at some point tonight?
No, you cannot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's gone in a holding cell.
Yeah.
And that's because of his behavior?
Behavior over there. He's being non-compliant over there. So therefore, instead of trying to process him like we would normally do, just bring him over here till he's ready. You know?
So how long typically would you leave someone like him who's had a bit to drink in the holding cell?
5, 6 hours. He can't call the bondsman. He can't call his mother. He will have to sit there until he sobers up, and that could be tomorrow morning.
I think he's trying to get your attention.
Yes, sir. So the advice I can give you right now is sit down and calm down. We'll come back and later on check on you. Yeah, I'll say about an hour or two. Okay, we'll come back and check on you. All right? Okay. Hey, number 3. Listen to me. If you have a seat and be quiet, thank you, sir.
It's fascinating watching Officer King in action. Any one of the inmates that came through here tonight could have become violent if they weren't managed right. What he seems to know by instinct, and what I'm starting to learn, is when to be a friend, when to be a counselor, and when to be a disciplinarian.
It's amazing how different an inmate's behavior is from
There
to here.
Now you see how he broke down on me? Now he's starting to cry because now he sees the reality of where he is. But if you'd have just complied over there, well, you wouldn't be in this situation.
He might have even been out of here within the hour, right?
He could have been.
6 is the cutoff for my shift.
Yeah.
Full 12 hours. Good night, guys.
Actually, guess what? You'll see him today.
I'll see you today.
Yeah, you'll see him today. At 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Thinking back to my time as an inmate in the Texas jail, I remember quickly feeling the guards were the enemy. What's weird is, changing out of my uniform, I already feel the opposite. That the officers are the good guys, and the inmates are the people to be wary of. Just 6 hours later, an officer has been violently attacked on a general population pod, identical to the one I'll be working on today. Though not exactly commonplace, it's the sort of incident I've been told is not a matter of if, but when.
When you hear that something like that has actually happened to one of your co-workers, does it make you slightly more alert, more worried, more concerned about your shift? Does it change the mood of the building?
Oh, yes, it does. It does.
Yeah, what sort of punishment does the inmate who attacked the officer actually get?
He'll be in segregation. That's a very serious infraction here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to check yourself? Everybody want to check yourself in the mirror?
Before my shift starts, I asked King if I could meet the guard who was attacked. Officer Ledford was taken to hospital after the incident, but has already returned to work.
Is there any way you can show me the tape?
Yeah.
Does this sit here?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. So it's you going around?
That's me going around getting the non-compliant inmate from my workstation, calling my supervisor, letting them know I have an issue. And he grabs me and tries to pull me in. I did a hip toss to get him down, but then he tried to get the upper hand by putting me in a headlock is what I believe he was trying. I retrieved my OC spray at this point, sprayed him, made contact, and then delivered several punches towards his facial and head area. That would be my sergeant coming in to assist me. Regrouping, I'm picking up my glasses, put them back on my head. I step up towards the inmate at hand, retrieve my handcuffs, and then get him restrained with the sergeant's assistance.
If I wasn't worried before, seeing such a violent attack just moments before I'm due to start my shift has got me genuinely worried. Tonight I'll be working on Pod 5G, alongside 2 experienced guards, Officers Wallace and Pulley, who have 7 years experience between them.
Thank you for showing me around, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I appreciate it.
There are just 3 of us, guarding nearly 50 men, whose charges range from driving infractions to violent assault. I've no idea how the inmates are going to react to me.
This is a room full of grown men. How do you make a room full of grown men do what you, on your own, are asking them to do?
They all know what's expected out of them. It's just following the rules, basically. I mean, most of them have no problem with it. I mean, right now, this is pretty quiet for a pod.
What is the procedure then? If a fight kicks off right now, what do you do?
So the first thing we do is call lockdown. Call on the radio, TNT, which means altercation fights in progress.
It might be this morning's attack, but standing here, even alongside two officers, I'm acutely aware of how vulnerable I feel.
I hadn't really given enough thought to the amount of time that the inmates have to consider and think and plan how to get one over on you, and also how to get what they want.
And they literally, they notice the smallest things. Smallest things. You walking by, they could be in their cell, and hey, at the window, you got a different cologne today. They check to see your uniform. If your uniform is really wrinkled, dirty, and look, he doesn't care about his job. So most likely, we're probably gonna be able to get things out of him eventually, because he's here for the money.
Just another day in the Guilford County 6, you know?
So the whole time they're just focusing on what type of information they can get without saying anything. I give them just enough that they feel like they know me a little bit, but I don't give them too much where they can use it against you.
So when it's calm like this, just hold your corner and just keep watch, right?
They're gonna try you. They're going to see, are you scared? And they can smell it, tell a mile away if you're scared or not. But it's about just confidence, just believing that you can do the job and understanding that if things do happen, that we will have your back.
That level of suspicion that you have to have here on the inside, does it change the way that you behave on the outside, do you think?
Oh yeah. Restaurants now, I always sit back towards the wall so I can see everything in front of me.
You kidding me?
Yeah. Because you never know. These guys get out.
You want to go ahead and hit that round?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 5 on the bottom and 4 up top.
All right. I'll do the bottom first and I'll go back up.
All right.
Every 30 minutes, the officers use an electronic recorder linked to a central database to mark that they have checked each cell. It's an official record timestamping that all inmates are safe. Pulley says to act confident, but suddenly isolated from my fellow officers, I'm certainly not feeling at ease.
A bit of a weird one, really. Because in terms of paranoia, this moment isn't very nice, because what's to stop an inmate running in after you and slamming the door shut, and then suddenly it's just two of you in the red yard, locked in, you know? I think more people are sort of seeing my face and trying to size me up a little, see how I react, see how comfortable I am. That's cool though, it's to be expected, right?
On top of the attack on the guard, this pod saw a violent clash during the night, which has seen the attacker sent to segregation. His victim remains here, under close supervision.
So you were fighting earlier. Do you mind telling me what that was over? What happened?
Well, dude watching out the door. He got the door cracked, dog. He watching out the door. He waits for me to turn my back. Boom! Hit me right in the neck.
Were you expecting the officers to come in and help?
Oh, yeah. I knew they were.
How long was it before the officers arrived out?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
So in your opinion, what makes a good officer then?
Good officer, somebody that treats you like a human being. As an inmate, you earn their respect. You know what I mean? Because they don't trust you. Just like we don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? Trust is earned, not given. You know what I mean?
It's beginning to feel like there's a constant threat of violence in here. I'm increasingly aware that no matter how calm things might seem, as a guard, you can never truly relax. As the dust settles on this morning's incident, Pulley and I conduct cell searches.
He's working on one side, I work on one side. And I'm doing it stripping his bed. And when you strip the bed and shaking everything, making sure that nothing's not hidden. And then a lot of inmates are particular. For example, this is contraband. Suit cup, they're not allowed suit cups in their room. The reason why is they can actually put urine or feces in this cup and throw it out.
So what sort of things have you found on the shakedown then?
We found marijuana, cell phones, cigarettes, anything.
Where would they hide a cell phone in the cell?
They'll have like some type of, make a like concoction of like toothpaste. I don't remember the exact ingredients, but they'll try to hide up here, under here. Like they're just pretty much anywhere.
All of these are going in the trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They go straight to the trash. You want to check, even open the containers. Because let's say they were to stash weed in there and shake it up, there's no way you know.
Yeah.
And as soon as we leave, they just knock it back out. Hey, why you check your books already?
Like many of the officers here, Pulley was born and raised in North Carolina, a state where 22% of residents are African American. Yet more than 70% of the inmates here are black.
I've got to ask you this, man. As a young black guy yourself, you know, the numbers of young black men incarcerated, even here in this pod, they're overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So why do you think you ended up wearing this uniform and not an orange one?
I had a great mom. My mom, she pretty much told me always follow the rules. I just always thought it was an honor position. Always wanted to be in law enforcement.
Do you think there's a stigma against the job if you are a young black guy?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes they look at you as a traitor. They're like, hey man, you're black. You're supposed to be nicer to us. You know, I don't know what your crime is. I don't know whether you're innocent or not guilty. You know, that's guilty or not guilty. That's not up to me. I'm not the judge or the jury. You know, my job is to make sure you follow the rules and that you're safe in here.
By 11 p.m., the inmates have had 3 hours out of their cells. It's time for lockdown.
All right, gentlemen, 11 o'clock, lockdown, please, gentlemen.
I don't know if that many people are supposed to laugh.
All right, fellas, I already said it's time to lock down. If I'm in here tomorrow, don't be surprised if you don't come out at 8 o'clock.
They said, get off the goddamn.
Doing this on my own, I'm not entirely sure if I'd be great at it. I mean, this is an intimidating environment. You know, you've got a lot of people in here who are watching your every move, and for somebody like myself, I think I'd have to be a little bit more forceful and a little more stern for me to be heard and respected, unfortunately.
I'm starting to learn that officers have to be constantly vigilant. And I wonder if the chronic staff shortages are making these pressures worse.
The thing that I would struggle with most if I was doing your job would be the hours.
I worked 12 hours a day for almost a year straight.
And that's overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Statistically, I've even read that takes years off your life. It takes a toll. I mean, I don't necessarily fear working in here, but I mean, if you really think about it, if these guys really wanted to take over, it's what, 40 of them and only wanted me. So if they all just came and ganged up on me, it's not really too much I can do, you know what I'm saying?
All right, fellas, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get these lights.
I knew that this job puts you in the firing line, that you might be attacked at any time. What I hadn't realized until today was the mental toll it takes. In America, correctional officers have a higher than average rate of mental health problems and are nearly twice as likely to commit suicide.
I think tonight was a real eye-opener.
Looking after 50 inmates at one go is difficult enough, let alone watching what you say, being careful and cautious about how you present yourself and also how much you let them in. You know, there's so much to consider, so much to think about that they're on constantly from the minute that they walk into the pod. And that isn't an easy job at all. It's Easter Sunday, and after last night, I'm relieved to have a day off. Officer King has invited me to go to church with him, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the man behind the uniform.
How you doing, sir?
Good to see you, sir.
You too. You too. You're looking sharp.
Oh, you're looking a little sharp yourself, there.
So you've got a pretty scary accessory
Ah, well, you know, I try to take care of myself when I'm outside of this.
Yeah, no kidding. That's the last thing I expected to see on your belt.
Really?
In church. So do you normally carry whenever you're out of the jail then?
Yes.
Everywhere you go?
Pretty much.
Seeing you wear that in church sort of says to me that you're almost on duty. You're not off. You're not relaxed.
Oh, I'm always relaxed.
Officer King was born and raised in one of the poorer parts of Greensboro, a city with neighborhoods among the most deprived in America, and where violent crime is almost twice the national average. It must be weird knowing the people you're locking up might once have been your neighbors. In terms of the people that you see coming through the door at the jail, how many would you say, in terms of percentage, would come from this area?
Oh, probably 70% of them.
So having a history in the tougher corners of this area, do you think that gives you an upper hand in the job?
Just to be able to relate to some of what they have gone through, yes. This is our church here.
This is the church?
This is the church.
I'm aware that when he's working, Officer King is presenting a certain image to the world. So it's interesting to hear him open up here. But I'm still intrigued as to why he feels the need to carry a gun, even to church. So your family are going to be where today during the service?
Some will be in the service, some may be over here. So I don't want anyone to walk up to them and possibly, assault them or grab them based off of maybe something that I had to redirect them for, in the jail.
You're concerned that a former inmate could spot your family or get to know who you're connected to?
The congregation is large, so you really never know what could happen. I know that I follow the rules, and most people, especially inmates, they don't always want to follow rules.
Scale of 1 to 10, what's the threat level, do you think?
To me, about a 9.
Should we head in?
Yeah, let's go in. Good morning. How you doing? All right. Hey, how you doing, brother? What's going on, man? What's up, man? How you doing? All right, this is Ed right here. This is Reggie.
Reggie, good to meet you, bro. Nice to meet you. Glad to have you, man. Thanks for having me. All right, yes, sir.
After spending 3 days at the jail, I've learned that during a 12-hour shift, you can't afford to switch off, even for a second. But a threat level of 9 in church suggests Officer King finds it hard to relax, even when he's off duty. But what toll does it take spending your working life watching your back? How has that stress sort of manifested itself? Has it affected any of your relationships?
Well, as far as relationship, it does. My daughter, her mother, when she lives in Florida, she just could never really accept what I did. If you don't have a real support system where your wife, your family really accepts what you do, it's not just tough in the community, but at home.
So the job got in the way of your relationship?
Yeah, and my daughter, she would ask, like, well, why would I want to work in a place like that? And someone can hurt you or walk up on us and hurt us.
All right, man, I'm gonna let you get some rest because you've got another night shift.
Another 12? Another 12. Okay, man.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Happy Easter to you too, brother.
Okay, happy Easter.
All right.
Currently have openings for detention officers. If you are ready for a career, not just a job, please apply online at GuilfordCountySheriff.com.
Well, it seems like the Major's doing everything that he can to ensure that they get new recruits. I don't know who's going to be up at this ungodly hour to hear that, but well, it seems like he's got the right idea. Whatever it takes, I guess. I'm heading back to the jail for another 12-hour shift. I'll be spending the day on Pod 3B, a general housing unit that has a reputation for being rowdy. Let's do it. I've been paired with Officer Owens, one of about 70 female officers working within the jail.
So how long have you worked in this jail then?
9 months.
How do you feel going into one of those pods?
I feel like a lot of the guys know me anyways. I've sort of developed a reputation.
For what exactly?
Sending guys out for being disrespectful.
And by sending out, what do you mean?
Segregation.
Right.
Sending them to segregation. So usually I try to give people a chance or a few chances, but it definitely depends as to what level of disrespect they show.
So what are we talking about?
Masturbating, cussing me out, things like that are usually segregation.
So what are you like in your normal life?
I'm kind of an introvert, kind of a shy person actually.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
So how does Owens, someone who stands at 5'2" and describes herself as naturally shy, keep control while surrounded by 50 volatile, potentially violent young men?
We are taking over for a little while.
So currently you got 43 on post. Currently we were about to start conducting cleanup.
The day begins with cell cleaning, a task the inmates undertake themselves.
Now I let out 4 per tier at a time because you don't want all the guys out. You only have a limited number of cleaning supplies, so you don't need everybody out. All right. If you want to clean, press your button. This one, this one, this one.
From the start of the day, the atmosphere in here feels much more challenging.
What's going on? We gonna have a good day today?
I hope so. When they say, are we gonna have a good day today? They mean, you're gonna let me get away with stuff, or you're gonna let me do what I wanna do today. And so I just say, I hope we're gonna have a good day, but that all depends on you. You wanting to clean? Okay, give me just a minute and I'll pop your door.
Sounds like you got a real handle on this. You know how this thing works. How long did you
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, well, how long were you faking it?
I can't say I've stopped, to be honest. I still don't feel as confident as I try to portray. I'm gonna need you to roll those pants down.
Trash bag, toilet paper.
So generally, how would the inmates test you then?
Just to see if you stand your ground. Like I told that guy to roll his pants down, he hadn't done it yet. So I'm gonna give him a few more minutes. I'm gonna tell him again. Hold on. Don't walk away with that screen up, okay? You need to do what I tell you to do. Don't test me today.
Me too? Like, you fill that one up and come back and get the second one, right? Fill that one up and come back and get the second one, right? I think that was a little cheeky test there.
Lock down. Lock down. You're not coming out today. Anybody else? I just locked a guy down for the day.
You locked someone down?
Disrespectful. Yeah, you missed that.
What happened?
Well, I said, stand by your door if you want to clean up. They never moved. I said it 2 more times, never moved.
So he's locked down for the whole day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which cell was that?
11. They're about to lose their whole morning rec hour. They keep this up.
Oh, really?
If you guys want to come out this morning, I recommend you stop yelling out. All right, we have to get a round in. If you'd like to do that,
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna give you the pipe.
Start my round and going?
Yeah.
Owens locks down the inmates so quickly.
If you're just waiting on your floor to dry, I need you to go ahead and shut your door.
It's not a punishment I've seen used in the jail before.
Y'all not coming out this morning.
But in her position, I'm not sure I'd be taking any risks either.
You got 2 guys down or 1?
Yep.
2.
They know the rules. They're just trying to see what they can get away with.
Do you think you've got a reputation for being a hard officer?
I think most females do. If you have a male and a female officer in a housing unit with males, they're gonna approach the male.
Why do you think that is?
A lot of guys don't like taking instructions from women. Yes?
Can I get some salt?
I'll bring you some on my next round.
And I need some toilet paper too.
Okay.
And a toothbrush.
Now, you might have to get all that when you come out.
Well, look, I also need to take a shower. I ain't taking no shower in damn 2 days.
We're finished cleaning up this morning. Your cellmate kind of ruined that for you.
Do you still get offended when you're working?
I still don't enjoy, being called a bitch.
How do you manage to keep a smile on your face?
You don't find it glamorous? No, sorry, you can get it when you come out. Do you want to come out? Okay.
Halfway through the shift, I take one of the inmates across the jail for their appearance in front of a judge. I'm going to escort you down to your court appearance as well. I take the opportunity to try and find out how inmates feel about Owen's hardline approach. You've got an officer who is really, really hard on you guys. Have you ever considered as to why she might be doing that?
For one, she's a female. And another thing, she's Caucasian in a predominantly African American field facility. So for you're white and you're a woman, they're not gonna listen. They're gonna learn.
As a black man and as a black inmate, when you see a new white officer come in, how do you think they're looking at you?
Some of them are compassionate. Some of them are an addition to the problem. Some of them look at it as just a job. You have to deal with people. Like, you have to be a people person to deal with people. If you're not a people person, you can't. I just don't see the point in it.
It's interesting to hear it from an inmate. Officers like Owens are given a much harder time here, simply because of who they are. An added pressure that's not easy to overcome.
Way to go. Part 2. You called me.
Back on the pod, tensions are already running high, and all the inmates are about to be released from their cells for recreation time. So it's the big rush for phones, right?
Yep.
Phones and showers. It seems like there's mass relief to be out of their cells, right?
Yeah. Mr. Moore, you got a shower downstairs. You do it, you're not coming out this afternoon.
Sorry,
They're not allowed on the upper tier if they're not assigned to that level.
So you're gonna lock him down for the rest of the day?
I am. Yep, as soon as he showers, he's done.
So how many inmates do you have on lockdown at the moment?
6.
Is that normal for one of your shifts? Or is that...
That's a little high.
Yeah.
It's a little high. I'd say 2 or 3 usually per shift. There have been days when I locked everybody down. Everybody's having a bad day. This is jail.
Busy shift.
Officer Owens.
Whoa.
Feeling stressed?
Well, that just happened. This is really, really difficult. This is so difficult because you are just being challenged constantly. It's, for want of a better example, it's like looking after our kids.
It is, yes. Kids with assault charges and robbery with firearms and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, you just have to be careful.
I found today's shift really challenging, but it's only been one day. Owens has been doing this for 9 months. I was thinking earlier, I fucking hate jail. Because after that shift, well, directly after coming out of the pod, I was thinking, this is just as hard, if not harder, than being an inmate. It's all shit. Just in different ways. It's my last day working in the jail, which I'll spend in the segregation unit. But before my shift begins, I've been given the chance to speak to Major Williamson, the head of the jail, who's been working in North Carolina Corrections for 3 decades. Hey, how you doing, Major?
All right.
How's it going?
Good.
Good to see you again. I found my week here tougher than expected. I don't get why anyone would want to spend their working life here.
You know, if you go to a 3rd grade class and say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Not many of them say, probably none of them say, I want to work in a jail. The challenge there is getting people to see the job as a critical aspect of the criminal justice system. You got to be as aggressive as we are in recruiting.
Given the amount of African-American men that you have behind bars here, do you think you're seeing enough African-American recruits wanting to be a part of the solution?
As far as African-American males, no. If you're an African-American, when you go home and you tell your wife, your mother, your friends, hey, I'm gonna work for the sheriff's department, there's people who say, hey man, why are you doing that? You know, maybe sure you're not selling out a little bit?
Why do you think African-American officers are important?
Well, obviously, it's just like any other social entity. You know, when you see a person who looks like you, maybe you're a little more open to listening to them, you know, understand how to talk to them. All those things make a difference. So now, if you decide you want to stay.
It's clear that recruitment, particularly of African-American officers, is the main challenge facing Guilford County Jail. With numbers so low, it's up to the current employees to pull their weight and make up the hours. This morning, I'm working with Officer Pulley again, this time on the segregation unit. The inmates on this pod are too dangerous to mix with the general population. They're only allowed out of their cells for an hour a day, and only then, in chains.
How many officers will man this pod then?
It's 2 officers. Yeah, we keep it at 2 officers just because of safety. Just because of safety.
One of the inmates calling you out saying you're trying to act serious. That sounds as though they know you, right?
Yeah, they know me.
What is there to be done on the pod this evening?
Right now we got a couple guys that get their hour outs, as Billy was describing and everything. Actually, we have one guy right in here, 20. He's a suicide watch. As you can tell, he's got his jumpsuit on outside. Pretty much we can't trust him with anything.
Right.
Inside his cell, right at the moment, he literally has nothing but a blanket. That's all he has.
He's put his jumpsuit outside of his cell?
Oh, we actually done that per sergeant.
So what is he wearing?
The blanket.
Right.
We'll let him do the next round.
Next one?
Okay. All right, cool.
Doing the rounds, I'm struck by just how relaxed and affable Pulley is, even on a unit housing the jail's most intimidating inmates. I've also noticed a familiar sound. Number 3, the vocal inmate from my night in bookings, is the person who's had the contents of his cell removed.
See, when I was doing my rounds, in the far corner I noticed someone I saw when I was working booking.
Yes,
the guy was calling himself number 3.
Oh, yes.
So he's in here now?
Oh, yes, he's in here now. He's asking segregation for tearing up his sheets, fighting officers, spitting, throwing feces, masturbating. He's pretty much broke everything.
What they say, you don't act right. I say it's because you don't treat me right.
What was your charge?
I have 23 felonies and 10 misdemeanors, and then I got one more misdemeanor here for assaulting on a government official. For attempted suicide 5 times.
Why would you want to take your own life?
For attention, it was never really suicide.
Okay. All right, well, look. Good talking to you, man. Look after yourself in here, all right?
What's your name, officer?
Take it easy. Look after yourself in here, okay? I'm Yates, okay? All right, sir.
The last time I saw the inmate who calls himself number 3 was on my first shift. I felt wary of him at the time, and I was a bit embarrassed by that.
Hey, Norman, somebody coming out?
1 week later, I don't feel as fazed by it, but I now know that that feeling, being wary, is a good thing. It's what keeps you safe.
Think you buff. You doing your push-ups, huh? You think you buff? You don't gain some weight? You getting big though, man. I see it in your arms, chest. You know, you getting big again. This guy right here, good guy. He always joking with me. Call him Buff Ninja Turtle. He don't put on some muscle since he been here. You the only dude I know and said displaying infraction for trying to smuggle in a wig and a toupee. Hey.
Do you know what the funny thing is, just seeing you guys talk to each other? I think if neither of you were wearing these uniforms and you met in a bar or something, you'd probably be friends. You'd be friends, right?
Yeah.
We about the same age.
Pulley has a natural empathy for inmates that they clearly respond to. It makes working with him feel easy. And it's a great way to end my time here at the jail.
TB test.
All right, Pulley. Ready? Take care, man. Your relationship with the inmates is definitely different to every other new officer or younger officer that I've seen. You have a real shorthand with them.
Yes.
And to me, it seems as though you're trying to make their stay easier, or at least help them in some way. Would that be fair?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely helping because when they come in, I don't judge. I immediately say, hey, I've been there. You know, I may not have done the crimes you've done, but I've seen the struggle. And at the end of the day, you can change that. You know, I just always try to remember that we're all human beings and that you give respect, you will get it.
We should try and find him?
Yeah.
Before I leave, I want to track down Officer King to say my goodbyes.
I'm nearly out of here. I'm nearly all done, nearly. Okay. Nearly all done. How are you? Look, with all of the challenges that face you as an officer, why do you keep coming back?
Because I want to make a difference in somebody's life. Male, female, Caucasian, African American, doesn't matter to me. I want to be able to make a difference. But I think you've done a fabulous job. Being 6 days, other than looking tired right now. A little under shave, you look a little rough around the edges. I'm telling you, I'd be all over you right now. You look a little rough.
Thank you so much, man. All right.
All right, bro.
I'm head out.
Good to see you, man.
Take
Look,
care.
you got my number now.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, you can give me a call every now and then.
All right.
And don't pepper spray nobody.
I'll try.
All right.
All right, thank you. Take care, King.
All right, man.
It's been a hard and often exhausting week. Correctional officers work long hours and they deal with some of the most dangerous elements in society, day in, day out. This job isn't fun or glamorous, but it's important. In the age of Black Lives Matter, it matters that it's done well. And so I've got nothing but respect for the people who are trying to dedicate their careers to it.
See, I thought being an inmate would be the more mentally taxing, but you're outnumbered if you're an officer. And the power isn't something that comes automatically, that's something that you have to earn. But you're also being tested, and you're also being sized up every minute of every hour of every shift. With close to 50 men, all wanting to try you, whether you're a man or a woman, is my idea of hell. And I won't be going back anytime soon.